Hi, this is Jeff with the Halcyon Masters. The underlying source of conflict in the world of Vainglory can be attributed to either the power of the Halcyon or the destructive force of the Churn. Today, we'll take a closer look at the Halcyon. Let's hit the intro. The Halcyon's power goes back millennia, or even to the beginning of time. According to the old druid, the life-giving power of the Halcyon is the breath of two elder giants who are rooted deep below the surface by their mother. Where their breath seeps to the surface are the wells of power which fuel the civilizations we know today. The story of the two brothers may be fable or it may be truth, but the existence of the Halcyon is fact. To control the flow of power, the Seraphim dug great wells scattered across the world. We know of 9 of these wells according to the Martine Walker files. The most powerful of these is the fabled well at the heart of the Shimmer. The Seraphim thought it'd be safe in the uninhabitable desert, but life was drawn to it just like the other wells around the world. Humans inevitably found the well, and by harnessing its power, they were able to build a grand city so impressive that it attracted the attention of Adagio himself. Their architecture and understanding of science and technology was well beyond their time, but it was the Halcyon which acted as the economic engine of the region. Another city which grew powerful from an energy well is Gythia. Gythia has a long and proud history. While their well is not as big as the one in the Shimmer, they used it to build their civilization and expand their influence. Unfortunately, the well ran out, but this is a good time to segue into how the energy can be used, captured, and applied. In its simplest form, the Halcyon can give life. Taking an excerpt from Sylvan Kestrel's lore, the well in the middle of the Tangled Woods produced the water of life. When mankind found it, they were given a taste of its power and were overcome with its endless possibilities. Many would make the pilgrimage to run its power over their hands or cleanse their children of sickness. Simple contact with the Halcyon can have an effect on one's life.
Halcyon shimmers in my veins.
Catherine is a hero who can control the Halcyon in an interesting way. She's Battleborn and can draw on the power to augment her physical abilities. Battleborn individuals are not mages and do not possess magical abilities, but they are stronger and more skilled than mere mortals.
Of course.
One example of her power is displayed in the Rise of the Star Queen lore.
Catherine inhaled, her eyes closed, and called the thunder. Felt it pushing through her limbs, pressing against the tips of her fingers, imbuing her shield until it shook. Then she opened her eyes and slammed her shield into the ground. The tremor pulsed through the street. Cobbles broke apart and rolled under the unsure feet of the rebels who fell, frozen, their terrified eyes looking toward the paragon of the Queen's personal guard. The screams silenced, frozen in the throats of the crowd.
Short of being a mage or a living god, only a Battleborn individual can call on this level of power. Allow me a little bit of theory crafting for this next example, but another hero who may have experienced the life-giving energy of the Halcyon is Cruel. Hellraiser, the sword that pierces his chest, has the undeniable blue glow of the Halcyon. The cursed sword keeps him alive and is why he is searching for more of the power to break him free from the curse. An alternative, or compounding theory, is the sword's power is derived from a form of arcane fire. Moving away from wild theories and back to accepted science, our resident PhD Flicker observed the radiation from the blue crystals causes a unique and fascinating metamorphosis in the surrounding flora and fauna.
Such fascinating specimens here!
Simply put, the Halcyon can accelerate evolution. This metamorphosis is how Petal's lotus flower, the treants, and the munions have all come to be. Flicker can even recreate his observations in the lab by exposing beetle eggs to the crystals, causing them to grow significantly in size. While Flicker experiments with the biological use of the Halcyon, the most common application is as a power source. The Halcyon will infuse itself into naturally occurring crystals, which can then be harvested and made to fit their application. Baron's wealth is derived from the crystal mining operation on his family's land. Trostan was founded because of its proximity to the Cal Peak crystal deposits, and the Elite Force soldiers braved the churn-infested well to recover the Halcyon-infused Shatterglass.
The churn levels here are off the charts.
The crystals have numerous applications, from powering simple technological devices like the holograms to the more power-hungry battle suits. Jules' mech, for example, runs off a Halcyon core, while Sky and Baron's mechs are both crystal-driven. While using the Halcyon as a battery is ingenious, one of the more fascinating applications is its ability to augment magic. A Shatterglass will intensify a mage's base ability, while a Frostburn will intensify and modify the ability by adding a slow. I'll also note that normal people can yield the power of these objects to varying effect. Consider the likes of Ringo, Rona, or Saw, who do not have magical abilities, but can still use the Halcyon-infused objects. Halcyon is a remarkable power. It can bring life to an entire region, cure disease, power devices large and small, interact with a person at the physical level, or augment one's magical abilities. Throughout history of Vainglory, we have seen entire civilizations built around the power and great wars waged for the perception of control. In theory, it can keep one alive or even resurrect. Individuals and civilizations have used the Halcyon to tip the balance of power in their favor, but the Halcyon itself has a natural counterbalance, the churn. That will be the topic of our next video. We'll likely learn more about the Halcyon as the Vainglory lore expands, but we hope you enjoyed this introduction. Be sure to subscribe and also press that like button. Until next time, we'll see you on the Halcyon Fold.